fans, subscribe to Blades Ramble. Up the Blades.
As always, the Ramble is sponsored by COACH Sheffield. If you're a growing business and you want support to continue that growth, they are the people to speak to. Thank you for joining the team for their continued support for the Ramble. And today's Ramble is also sponsored by V&B Auto Centres at Handsworth. They're still offering that fantastic deal of 50% off your next MOT when you let them know you're a Rambler. Thank you again to Aaron and the team for their support also. What is happening, Blades? And welcome back to the Blades Ramble. I am, of course, Jimmy, and this is hot off the presser. We are just out of Chris Wilder's press conference for the huge playoff game tomorrow night. It's tomorrow night. That's how quickly it's come around. At Ashton Gate, 8 o'clock kickoff. We will be here. I'm not going to jump into this straight away, but we will be here for, and I can't because I haven't. I have. We will be here for a watch along on the Blades Ramble from 7 o'clock for the 8 o'clock kickoff. Quickly followed directly afterwards by 90 after 90 to have your say. So, yes, it is getting very real now, which is going to do, isn't it? Let's not be ridiculous. Obviously, the game is coming up and it's going to happen, but are we getting nervous now? I've been confident, not confident, about as confident as you can get as being a Blade, but it's just, oh, wow. Oh, here we go. Here we go. So, what better man to put you in the mood for a playoff game than Christopher John Wilder, because he has had his press conference this morning and we're going to go through it now. So what did he say in his press conference? Andy Giddins were first up to ask him some questions, and the first question he asked were about Femi Siriki. Obviously suffered that really what looked like a really nasty injury in terms of going down on his shoulder against Blackburn. Looked like that might be his season done, because if you've dislocated your shoulder, it could potentially then always be a bit of a weak point, to be honest. But it looked like a nasty one. He's a big, strong boy, and to keep him on the floor for a little while, it has to be some knock. But he's been for a scan, says Wilder. No major damage, possibly back for the second leg. He'll miss tomorrow's game, but possibly back for the second leg, which is great because we all know, or this is my opinion, so I can't say we all know, but I think it's largely accepted that Femi might not be the best all-round right-back that we have. He might not be the best defender we have, but I think it's fair to say he's certainly in the conversation to be our best attacking fullback, certainly on the right-hand side. So if we need to be in the ascendancy in the home game, with historically throughout the season, when we've needed a result, we sometimes go with Femi at right back because he gets us higher up the pitch. He's a threat in the final third. We've talked about him being a little bit like a raw version of Jayden Bogle because he's not brilliant defensively, but he's very good going forward. So that's a great boost for us. And I don't think he'd have played anyway in the away leg. Certainly not starting, I wouldn't have thought. So really pleased to see that Femi's potentially going to be available for the second leg. What was that there? Oh my goodness. Oh yeah, Gid says we haven't really talked about Femi too much, but he has had a breakout season, hasn't he? And Wilder says, yeah, there's a couple in there, to be honest. City too, obviously winning our young player of the season in his first season at the level, which is great for it's been good for them both this season. Other youngsters as well. Thinking back to the Christmas period, Baptiste played, Billy Blackers played, Ryan One, who obviously scored against Bristol City last time out. He's integrating the young players has been an outstanding achievement for the academy and for the club as a whole, really. Gids then asked him, is everybody okay in terms of injury? He said, yeah, just Ben Burton Diaz, who was recovering from a virus. We'll check him out, and if he's not ready for Thursday, it'll definitely be Monday. Just from my point of view, he looked absolutely fine at the Player of the Year do. Absolutely fine. And shout out to Ben. Morning, Ben, because I know you'll be watching, pal. Resting players was the next thing that that gets talked about. So he says you've been able to give minutes to certain players, and other players because of that have obviously sat out. So Gus Amer hasn't played much. Ty Campbell hasn't played much. Are they going to be okay going into the playoffs? He said, yeah, they're fine. They're sharp. There's been a lot of difficult and honest discussions regarding minutes that needed to be played. We've had some positive performances, which I've been really happy about. We had to reset after Burnley. That was really important that we did that. We had to get back to winning ways, and that's what we've done largely. I thought we were unfortunate against Blackburn not to get the result that I thought the performance deserved, but it's been really important to get minutes into players that needed it and resting those that needed a rest, which he comes on to again in a little bit. Are you a fan of the playoffs? I can't read my own writing because he was talking I'm sure he's getting faster in way he talks. I need to get one of these transcript apps or something, don't I? So I can just read it, not my own writing, so I can just read it. We'll work on that for next season. Are you a fan of the playoffs? He says, I'd rather be on the beach if that's what you're asking at the minute. But I've been there before. In 2010, this is when he took Oxford from the National League to the EFL, to League Two, through the playoffs. So Chris Wilder has won the playoffs, for those that aren't aware, previously. Everyone talks about it being the best way to go up is through the playoffs at Wembley, but we've got two very difficult games to come before that. I've got too much respect for the opposition to even think about that at the moment. It'll be two tight games, no different from the... we're not doing anything different over the next two games. It's no different preparation or anything like that. And Gid says, is that how you're approaching it then? There's no different approach because it's a two-legged affair. He said, no, we're aiming to win. We're going to go down there to Ashton Gate to win the game. No negative approach from us. We've got an outstanding away record this season. We might get pushed back throughout the game, but we know that we can hurt any team in this division if we play to our best. How does the historical negativity around the playoffs and Sheffield United affect you? He says, well, there's negativity everywhere in football, but not in this group. The proof will be in the pudding tomorrow night. We're going to go there to win, but we'll have to play very well to do that. We need to do a lot of things right to win at this level. I've talked about that loads throughout the season. Full credit to Liam and their team for getting into the playoffs. It's an outstanding achievement for them. Obviously, we were a little bit disappointed because our season panned out a little bit differently to theirs. But we've now got great options. We've got players fit. We've only maybe one or two that we would like to have available that we haven't got. So we're in a really good place. What threats do you think Bristol City pose then? He says, technically, they're a very good side. They caused us problems with the shape in both games. I don't think we were at our best at Bramall Lane, but they've got good players. Thinking about it, though, so have we. They're a good young side and well coached. They also need to deal with us too, which I thought were a good thing to say. Danny Hall then took over and said, he talked about not preparing any differently. He sort of leaned into Gids' question again about a two-legged affair. He says, no, it's nothing different. There's no need to change anything. There's a lot of excitement in the group about the challenge ahead. Danny said, is it a place for cool heads over the next couple of games? Because you can't necessarily win a playoff over one leg, but you can potentially lose it over one leg. And he said, we're calm going into it, but we're also realistic. We could have a man sent off after 10 minutes. The tense emotional affairs, but good teams make good decisions. Good teams are disciplined. Bristol City have a good home record. They may want to come out at us, but we want to take control of the game and play our game. Is there an excitement in the staff too? You've talked about the excitement amongst the group, but does that include staff as well? And he said 100%. We're all really looking forward to it. We've not looked past... we've not been involved in the past record here. We're here to rewrite it. I wouldn't be here if I thought we couldn't rewrite that record. I wouldn't have come back in 2016. I'm eternally grateful to Kevin McCabe and Prince Abdullah, who brought me in 2016, and then again to Prince Abdullah and Stephen Bettis who gave me the opportunity to influence this club's future. My job now is to prep them and to do something special. I've too much experience to know that we need to earn the right. But I want to repay the support I've had over my 2 stints in charge. A lot of preparation has gone into this. We're focused and determined as a group. Talk to me about Sidney Peck then, says Danny. What are you most impressed by? I'm most impressed by how he's handled championship football and the big games. A lot of the group have played in big games now, Kiefer included, in playoff campaigns and things like that. But throughout the season, they've played in Sheffield derbies now, and these 2 games will be no different. They're very big games coming up. Sidney has been outstanding. He's had little dips of form here and there, but that's to be expected. Overall, he's been outstanding. It's time for him now to kick on. He says he'll get the plaudits when he's got 250, 350 games under his belt and he's won things, but he's on the right track to do that. What about Michael Cooper then, getting player of the season? He says, yeah, there were genuine contenders for that award. It could have gone to a number of players, which just goes to, you know, how good a season we've had. But he's had a fantastic season as well. The concentration levels, the way he's handled the ball at times, the positivity. We talk about big moments a lot. It's not just a Gus Hamer free kick. It's not just a Tyrese Campbell finish. Big saves are huge moments too. He's been an outstanding signing for us. And the way that we have been able to put assets back into the club, give them value. He talked about players that were already here, like Anel, Vinny and Gus, but also Michael Cooper, Harrison Burrows, who's got into the team of the season, Sidney Peck, and there's 3 more big games to go. 3 more, he said. 3 more big games to go. A little bit like the players were saying on the Player of the Year do. Bit of a cheeky one, I thought, from Dan, who you know I love, but it just shows, doesn't it, that the data-driven approach isn't everything, and sometimes the eye test is really important too. And he's sort of, Wilder knew exactly where he were going with it, and he said, yeah, I'm aware of the talk around the club at the minute being data-driven, and that is the way forward, but the eyes also mean a lot. The intangibles, like character of the player. He's been an outstanding bit of business as Michael Cooper, but we have done great business this season. The job's not done yet, though. Still got 3 big games to go. I have to say as well, that was really evident at the Player of the Year do. And look, I only got snippets of speaking to players. But in terms of how they carried themselves as people and how I know the media trained and things like that, and I don't like to use that as a bit of a cop-out, but I thought they were all very respectful, but very confident in them. There were a quiet confidence about them. And I was just really proud to have them representing our club. And I think everybody who spoke to the players had a similar feeling about how the majority of the team were. And that leans into what Wilder's saying about the positive character. I was really, really impressed and really proud of him, to be fair. Does he have? What about the personal drive then from some of these teams? Some of them have been here before. Some of them will want to right wrongs of relegation and things. And Wilder says they've all got personal journeys. Players want to play in the Premier League. Players want to get back into the Premier League and have unfinished business there. We've got young players that haven't experienced that yet. The story to write now is to have a positive playoff campaign. We want to rewrite that story of Sheffield United always failing in the playoffs. Well, let's change that, like we've changed a lot of the narrative around this club. What a man. What a man. Do the Leeds and Burnley celebrations inspire you? Because I talked to whoever was now asking the questions was saying, I spoke to Graham Alexander, who's the Bradford City manager, who said that he was inspired by the Doncaster celebrations to make sure his team could also enjoy those moments. And he said, well, maybe, but people might have been inspired by our celebrations in years gone by. And you know, the Leeds and Burnley celebrations could also inspire other teams in and around us. We just have to do our bit. All these games I expect to be tight. I don't expect anybody to be run away 3-0ers or anything like that. There'll be twists and turns in both games. The main thing is getting through the tie. Your team's historically been very good at managing games. Do you think that'll play a part, obviously, in the next couple of games at least? We'll not have all of the ball, says Chris, or all the opportunities in the tie. We've got to handle those moments well. All of the teams in this playoff campaign will have to do that. Defensively, we're pretty good, and we've got big moments in us. We know that. We're confident, but we'll need to play well to get the job done. What about the health of the players? How much of a boost is it to have more players involved now and players coming back at the right time, really? Wilder says, to get Tom Davies minutes was an amazing boost. Gus and Harrison needed a rest. Sam McCallum coming in has done amazingly well. It's a 20-man game. To have everyone available is a great boost to us. And he's right, it is, to be fair. It's a squad game. And then the question was, how does it affect morale having to manage a 20-man squad? I think there were both sort of positive and negative connotations in the question. I don't think there was any I'm not saying there was any sort of unintended or ill meaning behind it, but I think it could go one of two ways, couldn't it? Because if you think about, oh, well, more players are fit, so the best 11 is going to play, which is best for the club, then some may miss out, and does that affect their morale? But I think it was also a case of, does it give the players positivity that we're going to have the best chance going forward? Chris said they all understand and respect the decisions made. We've got full focus on supporting the team as a collective. We often use our full quota of subs as well. I can't remember the last time we didn't use all 5 subs. They all need to be ready. Anything can happen in a game. So that's 16 that will get used on the night, which is largely what's happened. But also, somebody could get injured at any time, and they need to be ready. How positive is it to have Blaster back on the grass? And the fact that even if he doesn't make it back in time, he's so close to returning because he's been so influential throughout the season, or throughout when he was fit, he was so influential on the side. And Chris said it's a 9-month injury. We can't rush it. We have to think about his long-term future as well. We can't be selfish and rush that. But he's in a fabulous place in terms of his recovery. I believe he'll be in the stands tomorrow night with the fans, which doesn't surprise me knowing his background. Harry Suter and Ollie Arblaster were a huge loss to us, but we have overcome it. When he's ready, he's ready. Blaster's injury did actually open the door for City. It was just won our Young Player of the Year. We're not relying on one player. We wouldn't have got to 92 points. 92, he said. We wouldn't have got to 92 points if we were just relying on one person. It's a team game. And then the final question, which was the best answer of the lot. And I understand it, and some fans have been talking about it. I'm pleased it got asked because you were always going to get this answer. But it's just so fans are unequivocally aware of what Chris Wilder thinks. The bigger picture in the summer, if you look at the bigger picture, the sort of question was, obviously he wants to get promoted, but is there an argument to say that you've had such a big rebuild in the summer that you could do with another year at the level to get the rebuild completed and maybe be stronger in the Premier League the year after? Shut up and behave, he says. When that door opens, you have to step through it. What will be, but full focus is on stepping through that door if we can. Brilliant from Chris Wilder. Absolutely brilliant. And bang up for it. Bang up for it. Bit of no nonsense this morning, but then finished on a nice jovial note. I thought it were really good, really good. And before I get into your comments, I'm just going to let everybody know what we've got coming up on the channel. So we've got today at 12:30 over on Behind The Ramble. We're continuing with episode 2 of The Hustle. This is Ash Tyson. She is a good mate of mine and has an incredible story. She's one of the most unbelievable people I've ever met. And I'd encourage anybody that's been interested in that new series, which is diversified content on the channel. It's not football related. Connor was our first guest, Connor McGilligan. And this will be Ash's sort of first appearance on our channel, obviously. So, yeah, designated ADHD icon, Ash Tyson. That is brilliant. Then back to the football. Tomorrow from 7 p.m. it is our watch along of Sheffield United going to Ashton Gate for the first leg of the playoffs. Oh my word. Oh my word. Directly followed by 90 after 90. We will be playing match bingo for the game. So if we sell a certain amount of tickets, we will be having a private game. The only way you access that private game, even if you've already got the app, is to scan our QR code or follow the link in our description. So if you want to join that private game and play along with me and Jord Motson for the watch along, you're more than welcome. If we get to a certain number of tickets, I think it's 200 tickets sold in completion, then there's a guaranteed winner of the pot. We've also teamed up with BetMate. I don't know whether this will be available for Thursday or Monday, but we're looking at running a free competition with BetMate. So it's free to enter. And then there's I think it's an overall £200 pot, he said. So depending on number of entries, there'll be a first, second and third winner. It's social betting, it's called. It's a new concept. And when I get some more information, I'll forward that to you. So yeah, really looking forward to the playoff game. Oh my word. Oh my word. Right, let's get into some comments then today. David says, morning, Jimmy and all the Ramblers. Just woke up in time. Up all the Rambles. Up the Blades. Hit the like, please. Thank you, David. Appreciate that, pal. Harry says, morning, Jimmy. Hope you're okay. Looking forward to these games. I know, Harry. I knew I'd get like this. I said I would get like this, and you all know me well enough now. I start off really positive, and then as we get close to the game, I get more and more nervous, and I'll be a bit of a wreck, I think, come kick-off. But we'll see how we go. We'll see how we go. Mark Meldrew says, morning, Jimmy. Hope you're well. Wilder, what a man. Up the Ramble. Up the positive, Meldrew. Come on, you red and white wizards. Top man. Thank you, Marco. Ian says, morning, Jimmy. Oof, what an answer to the final question. Up the Ramble. Like and subscribe. Thank you to the gatekeeper. Much appreciated, pal. You have to love the new positive, Mark Meldrew, says Lee. Yeah. See how long it lasts. But I'm enjoying it at the moment for what it is. Winkerbank Blade says, let's get them tickets sold, Blades, up the Ramble. I think we will. I think we will get those tickets sold for home leg. I think people are nervous about the first leg, but I'm pretty sure they'll sell out. Up the Blades Ramble, says Matthew. Thank you, pal. Hopefully we can do it this time in the playoffs. I certainly hope so. Nath says, morning, Jim. Out of all the teams in the playoffs, Bristol City was the one I didn't want. But after his presser, I'm in a confident mood again. Let's go, Blades. He's just got something on it. He's got something about him that makes you turn your head and sort of think positively again. Speaking of positive, here is super positive Jack. Not going to lie, I think we're going to smash Bristol City. Get Alfie Gilchrist on that right, because no idea why we dropped him. Yeah, if he's sobered up, then I won't be against Alfie Gilchrist. I think personally that Hamza Chowdhury will play at right back. I may be wrong, but I think that's what's going to happen. And to be fair, he's probably earned the right to keep the shirt, how Hamza's been playing recently. Doesn't mean it wasn't harsh to drop Alfie in the first place, although Alfie was off the boil when he originally came out of the team. Morning, Jimmy. Hope you all well. Nervous for the playoffs, but I think with our squad, we should get over the line. We should. Never that easy, though, is it, Jack? It's always, there's always intangibles in the playoffs. Ben says, morning, Jimmy. Great to meet you Sunday. You too, pal. Made Emmy's day meeting a YouTuber and giving you her loom band. It was brilliant, mate. Brilliant. Great to meet Emmy as well. Yeah, I know she was telling me a little bit about her plans as well. So, yeah, fantastic to meet you, Ben. Met Ben with Ben in Selina. One of our, oh no, they're not on this graphic because it's not the warm-up, but Selina is our pre-match bar. We will be there before the game on Monday, as well as Triple Point, who also support us. So, yeah, great to meet you, Ben, and Emmy too. Ricky says, morning, Jimmy. Caught you. Definitely looking forward to the playoffs. Up the Blades, up the Ramble. Top man. On that right, says Jack, now Brooks has had some minutes and looked good. We have options on that right-hand side. Yes, that's true. We do. We do have options, which is it's a huge thing to say. Mark Meldrew talked about it on Hot Topic last night, which is our Patreon exclusive show. He was part of the panel, and he was saying that options is the key word at the moment, isn't it? Ray says, morning all, wasn't nervous, but as it gets closer, they're now kicking in, but we can do it. Up the full-time Ramble, like and subscribe. Thank you, mate. Gary says, good luck, can't wait. Lead supporter, thank you, Gary. Appreciate that, pal. Stay down, Jim. Love Sheffield United the way I do, says JB. I don't know who you support, JB, but yeah, we'll hopefully not be doing that, but who knows? Who knows? Big T says, now then, Jimmy lad, me and my 11-year-old lad will be going down to Bristol tomorrow. He's gone to school this morning telling his teacher he's got bellyache. Up the Blades. We can do this. Yeah, memories for life, mate. Memories for life, hopefully. Ray says, that's great news. Femi available for the second leg. It brings something different to the side, especially attacking down the wing. I agree. There's a lot of players, a lot of fans that have said, is he an option as a right winger, Ray? And now, like people have also touched on, Raksaki's fit. We played Brereton Diaz there. I actually think Brereton Diaz will be the one to start there tomorrow night. Well, he might not due to what Wilder's just said, but I think if he's fit, he's the preferred of the three. But Andre Brooks also had a very, I think he had a good game overall. I think he was sloppy in some periods, but it was also very, very good in other periods. So he's certainly given Wilder food for thought. So maybe there's not that need anymore for Sariki further forward, but we'll see. He's a great option to have, isn't he? Jack says, no negative approach. Let's see what it looks like on the pitch, because we cannot sit back, especially in the playoffs. Come on, United. Let's smash these and get the Ramblers to Wembley. Ramble coach. I think it's just about full. I'll get an update. That's of people that have provisionally said they can go. There's no booking yet. We haven't jinxed anything. We're just trying to be sensible and plan ahead. But thank you to Paul of Wellstoned Landscapes for arranging the coach and sorting us all out. Thomas says, looking forward to the playoffs for once. Good luck, Blunts. Beat Fat Frank in the final. Marching on together. Gids, what a legend. Rubbish at drinking games, though. Wouldn't know, pal. Wouldn't know. Can't say I've ever been involved in any drinking games with Andy Giddins. Cooler King says, morning, Jim. Good morning, mate. Hope you're well. That stuff about data analysis reminds me of the scene in Moneyball where those old fat coaches think experience is better than metrics and Brad Pitt loses his... Yes, I know the scene you're talking about. Jez says 4-2-3-1 for the away leg. Callum must start, and also Brooks on the right for his energy levels and superior defensive cover compared to Raksaki and Brereton Diaz. I do think that Brereton Diaz works back well. I think you're probably right, though, in terms of Brooks being the more defensive-minded of the three and sort of supporting what will probably be Hamza on the right-hand side going backwards. But there was some... because on Hot Topic last night, Lee was proposing that he might go with a flat three across the middle, with Hamer and Vinny and Peck, as opposed to playing Callum O'Hare in the 10. So I don't know whether people think that might be an option, because I think I agree that Callum O'Hare can't miss out. But Lee was saying more for tactical reasons, and I don't mean to speak for Lee. He can speak for himself. He's in comments, but I think it was more a tactical decision to play with a flat three away to be a bit more solid. So we'll see. Ray says 3 more big games to go. Oh, I love that confident attitude. Brilliant. Let's get behind them players. Can be heroes forever if we do it. Exactly right. Exactly right. They write the names, don't they, in the history of United. Kev says, morning, Jimmy. Great to have you on this morning. We got to perform like we did against Cov, Middlesbrough, but still be nervous till it's over. Thanks, Jimmy. Up the blades, up the ramble, like and subscribe. Thank you, Kev. Hope you're well, mate. Ricky says, everyone that's watching, give Jimbo's video a like. Only 7 likes. We've got 200 and odd people here. I know it's an awkward time of the day, so most people will be working and what have you, but it really helps Jim's channel grow. It does, mate. It does. Alessandro says, honestly, loving this composed confidence and attitude from Wilder and players about the playoffs. Up the blades. Ooh. I know, mate. I know. Me too. Cooler King says, love that from CW about another season in the champ. He's dead right. If the opportunity's there, you have to take it. No team gets to pick and choose the time they get promotion. Completely agree, Cooler King. That is the message that we have reiterated time and time again. I understand the thought process behind having another season in the championship. I don't agree with it at all, but I understand the thought process. You have to take the opportunity of going up to the Prem. And I know it's probably going to be a much worse season on the pitch in the Prem, but we will be a much stronger team in the Prem than we are in the Championship, which is just the way that football is at the moment, unfortunately. Andy says, Blades will win comfortably on Thursday. Bristol have petered out at the back end of the season. 0-3 prediction. I hope you're right, pal, but I'm not so sure. I think we talked about this again on Hot Topic last night. If you're not a Rambler, then please feel free to join up and be a part of that. But is it a clean slate time of the season? I know everybody wants momentum going into the playoffs, and years ago that used to count for a lot, I thought. But in recent seasons, none of these teams are coming into the playoffs in any sort of form, us included. So I think it's a bit of a clean slate situation where that you see him as unique, one-off. I know it's a 2-legged affair, but like big occasions. So I'm not so sure that the form leading in will mean as much as it has done previously. And that's just my opinion. Maybe absolute rubbish, and you may disagree. But I hope you're right, Andy, obviously. but I'm not so sure it'll be that straightforward. David says, Jimmy, stay strong, believe, keep the faith. In the words of our own CW, shut up and behave. Fair dues. Fair dues. Well said, mate. Well said, I will. Rich says, looking forward to it. Doesn't do it justice, Jimmy. Nerves shredded already. Our away following will do us proud again, I'm sure. Come on, everyone. Let's get this done. Up all the rambles. Like and subscribe. Wasn't Alfie injured when he came out of the team? Seem to remember him going back to Chelsea for treatment. No, he when he originally came out of the team, he wasn't injured, Ian. And then he got injured during his time out of the team, essentially. No Piro, no party says, morning, Jimmy. Hopefully you guys win the playoffs. We need another Yorkshire team in the Premier League. Like and subscribe. Thank you, pal. Sheffield United to win 2-1 and 3-1 from a Leeds fan. I hope you're right, mate. I've woke up overconfident this morning, says Jack. Was showing my son some highlights yesterday to teach him young. Tomorrow, I'm going to be a nervous mess. With Brooks, he's hardly had minutes, so it's normal to show some match rust. But I think Brooks just showed everyone how that right wing is supposed to be played. His balls into the box were dangerous. He did put some great crosses in. Andre is pronounced Andre, not Andrea. Is this the same guy that always... I think I'm saying it, Andre Brooks. Chris, honestly, mate, you need to drop that. I don't know if you're mishearing it. I don't know if you've got tinnitus. I don't know what the situation is, mate, but you need to drop that, because and even if I'm saying it wrong, then does it matter? Does it matter to you? If you spent 20 minutes with Andy the Blade, all me and my brother do is absolutely rinse him for the way he mispronounces stuff. It might be a family trait for all I know, but he calls players plars. The plars. We've got decent plars. Honestly, it's an accent thing probably. So, you know, everybody's got their own little nuances. I think you're bang wrong about me mispronouncing it, to be fair. But even if I am, who's bothered? Who's bothered? Come on, you Blades. Good luck, says Bry. Thank you, mate. Graham says, Covboy here, wish you well. As it's like watching us and you beat us to Burrows. Why don't you always start with Callum O'Hare? Gus is a start and Sam McCallum has hair. So, see you at Wembley. Play up Sky Blues, up the Ramble. I hope we do. Look, I do and I don't hope we do. Obviously, I hope we get to Wembley. In terms of who we play, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. I think there's a couple of different stories that are written if it's Coventry, and I don't like some of them. You know, they've got a huge gripe with Callum O'Hare. Is it a Callum O'Hare own goal or a missed penalty in a penalty shootout that's Callum O'Hare? Is it Gus that scores the winner? Is it, there's loads of different stories that could be written. Rice says, I'd love to see Big Keith up top. Brooksy on the right, putting some of them delicious in-swinging balls in. Then we have Big Keith's height to help out on corners, which hasn't helped out at all season, right, to be fair. In our boxes, they have quite a strong 11. Oh, defensively, he's been good, to be fair. Yeah, that's fair. Ricky says, just another 3 wins, Blades. Come on. And we are there, up the Blades, up the Ramble, up behind the Ramble. Lee says, I fancy the flat 3 just to cut down the space in the middle. Brereton Diaz left, Brooks right, as both are more defensively disciplined. We still miss O'Hare in transition, but he's only a sub away from options. See you later, love. Mrs. Ramble's going out. See you, love. Ta-da. Chef Paul says, form and final league position mean nothing in the playoffs. Ask Leeds. Nervy times ahead. Absolutely right. Sheila's Wheel says, I hope City dances through their defence like he did on the dance floor. I don't know if I've got that. Anyway, I got a copyright claim for that, so I don't know if I can play it again. Mark says, bang on, Jimmy. When you say we have to take our Premiership opportunity, this is what every club with any ambition and dreams of. Grasp it, embrace it, up the Blades, up the Ramble. Well said, Marco. Hope you well, mate. Danny says, don't think Chris understands the proper Yorkshire accent. I think you might be right. Am I saying semi-freaky wrong as well then? Yes, you are, Lee. Yes, you are. We're all saying it wrong. All the composure of the manager, supposed positivity of the players, claims that past playoff failures count for nothing. It does count for nothing. It does. Obviously, he's right in terms of we as a fan base will be nervous around our playoff record. Not one of the players was in the squad for any previous playoff campaign. The manager, has he only had one playoff campaign in his career and won it? Why would we not have confidence in this team, which is a genuine clean slate of approaching the playoffs? I don't understand why we wouldn't see it as that. Speaking of Hamza, when's he coming back on? Yeah, we'll get him on soon. Hamza the Blade. Yeah, we'll get him on. Hope Andrea Brooks starts tomorrow. Andrea Brooks to score on Thursday, says Alessandro. All the best, Jim, from a Leeds fan, says Alfonso. Shout out to Ian and Alessandro. Love that. Michael says it's a very tight tie in this one. Take a 0-0 draw there and a 1-0 at home. I think it'll be very tense. Michael, I'll take whatever we can get to get through. I'm not sure I'll have much hair left if it's that tight, but I'll take it. I'll take it right now. Cooper will be massive for you, says Alfonso. If it comes to penalties, big advantage. That's very true. That's very true. You forget about, you just worry about our penalty takers, and you sometimes forget about the real man mountain. Apologies to Port. No, absolutely no. I'm going to take that back. But you talk about that beast in the goal of Michael Cooper. What a man. Good morning, pal, says Nige. Nervous as hell for tomorrow night. Cooper, Burrows, Holding, Anel and Chowdhury, Sousa Peck, O'Hare, Hamer as 210s, and Moore and Campbell up top. No width at all then for Nige, going for the old Christmas tree. No, he's not. He's going for the 4-2-2-2. Interesting. Lee says, Bristol City have the smallest squad and injuries have caught up with us. Should have invested in January as we've limped. As it is, we've limped into the playoffs. I'm just hoping for competitive games. All the best. Thank you, Lee. I'm hoping for the same. I hope we beat you. Obviously, you hope you beat us. But no issues at all with Bristol City. I think you've done remarkably well this. And you can't say that without sounding patronising, but I think you have to acknowledge where each club is at the moment. And Bristol City have done fantastically well this season. Liam Manning, very good manager. You'll be hoping you can keep hold of him. He's been linked already to Leicester, hasn't he? Which would be a huge blow for yourselves. But it's been remarkable what he's done this season. Nige says, up the Blades, up the Ramble, up Behind the Ramble, like and subscribe. Chris says, now you are saying it right, but you have repeatedly used the girl's name, Andrea, putting an A on the end. No, I haven't. Other mates have noticed, not just me. It's just so annoying. I am lifelong Yorkshire. Right, okay. I might just call him Andrea just to annoy you now, Chris, because it's a ridiculous shout. Andrea Brooks on the right wing. Are we playing Andrea? Shall Andrea play on tomorrow night? Andrea, join us for the watch along, Chris, and let's hope Andrea plays, because we'll see how we're calling that. So thank you to everybody. I'm so finicky sometimes with stuff. I love everybody having their own say, but don't call me out for stuff I'm not doing. So again, a reminder, today at 12:30, we're back on Behind the Ramble with Ash Tyson. Absolutely incredible person. Cannot wait to have it. I know it's not going to be everybody's cup of tea because you're here for football. This is a little bit different content over on Behind the Ramble. But Ash's journey, it's very inspirational. So anybody that's interested in that sort of content, see you there. But we will be back on the Blades Ramble playing match bingo for the watch along. Hopefully Andrea is in the starting 11 and we'll see you there, and then directly followed by 90 after 90. So not a girl's name. Pilo's first name was Andrea, but it's a weird thing to not pick. I know. Nigel says, Andrea's got to play for me, says Nige. Yeah. I think he's got a problem with Andrea, Jim, says Toddy. Andrea hat-trick, says Harry. Yeah, I think Andrea Brooks, well, is due, or she's due. She's due a hat-trick, is Andrea Brooks. So all the best to her if she's starting tomorrow night. Come on, you red and white wizards. Up there, blood!